Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, and in today's video, I want to just dive right into the 2377 Kingdom Mails, because people are sharing them around anyways, so I may as well get some credit and make a video about it. Gosh darn it, I'm in this kingdom. I'm in the drama. I deal with the consequences. So, okay, let's read these Kingdom Mails, all right? Now, this has to do, by the way, with the 2377 registration for KvK, which was a bit of a surprise, both to the Kingdom members and also the rest of the Rise of Kingdoms community, that we would queue up so fast. And I talked about this in yesterday's video. So if you want any of those details, I'll have a card in the end screen, and you can go watch kind of like the part one of what this video is. This is kind of the part two, where you can just see the Kingdom Mails sent by our new king, Minnie. So, what did Minnie say when we registered for KvK? Many of you might have noticed we just registered for KvK. If you hadn't, well, surprise! Now, several of you might be saying, why didn't Minnie tell us? Or, Minnie is implying here a little bit of rioting. Let's kill Minnie. Okay, take it easy. Take it easy. He says, unfortunately, every action in this kingdom is followed, communicated, and redistributed to media outlets, family, friends, trolls, and therapists. So these decisions have to be closely discussed. And it's true. Like, I didn't put these Kingdom Mails in a video, but here they are in all these different places. And so I may as well get some credit. I'm making a video too now, gosh darn it. Now let's get to why we registered. Yes, indeed. We could have spent the next 30 days waiting for a recovery KvK and then gone another 2 months of farming in that KvK, or go right now in the Lost Kingdom, farm, kill barbs, maybe you get a matchup that will be fun and relaxing. All of this achieves the same goals as staying in Home Kingdom plus more, which is true. My perspective here is it's way better to queue for KvKs quickly than it is to sit around twiddling our thumbs. Twiddling your thumbs is how kingdoms go to die, and that is kind of how things are set up between KvKs, to twiddle your thumbs until the next one. And okay, there are things you can do. Don't get me wrong. But the things you do between KvK are obviously not nearly as exciting as the things you do in KvK. But, you know, you need a little bit of time to detox if you're a regular human. I'm not a regular human. I've had zero time to detox. I went straight from the intensity of the multi-month 1960 nonstop KvK to the Restart Kingdom KvK Kingsland Insanity, which was like 3 or 4 days, right into SVS and Whiteout Survival, right into a KvK that was as insane as the 1960 2377 KvK, but it was Call of Dragons in there, and that was just completely nuts, and people don't appreciate that level of scale. So I'm trying to get better and better at communicating, like, if I've been overwhelmed over the last 2 or 3 months, that's because I am. If I've been too busy over the last 2 or 3 months, that's because I am. If you're a friend of mine, like, it's on you to reach out to me. And even then, I'm crazy busy. Like, it took Ruz and I weeks to get a collab done, and we have another one planned. And it will take weeks before that actually happens, probably. So, like, I hope you have patience with me. I am doing the best I can. But, like, if you have an expectation that I'm going to get back to you in a quick time frame, you're going to be disappointed. I'm doing the best I can to try to be as communicative, etc., as I can. Anyways, now we clear our hospitals and do lots of forts and drink. Personally, I just drink seltzer, but you know, your beverage of choice here. Let's wait for the matchup and see what we get. It's pretty funny to see this in hindsight, right? Match not found may happen, so we may have lost nothing. I want to say thank you for your patience and understanding. Thanks, Minnie. I think this strategy of registering for KvK was brilliant. First of all, it gets us registered for KvK quickly, which I think is a huge W compared to waiting around in Home Kingdom for, like he says, like what? Twiddling our thumbs. Second of all, it sprung the kingdom into action, in my opinion. Like, the moment we registered for KvK, the activity throughout the kingdom went through the roof because everybody's getting ready for KvK. Anyways, since getting a mail popped me up to the top of my favorites list, what report did I just get? I gathered. Let's now look at the next mail. KvK Diplo. Hey, everyone. Let's start with the positive. We aren't fighting 60 GT. I mean, I was very transparent in my last video that, like, I don't want to fight 1960 right now. I don't want to be in a kingdom that attempts to fight 1960 unless they're willing to do all the things 1960 does to achieve their success. Because even if you try to copy those things, your accounts still aren't as good as their accounts are. So I don't know what advantage you think you have. So I don't want to queue into them until I'm in a kingdom that is doing all of the things they're doing and has the account strength and for that to make any sense at all. And it doesn't today. So we aren't fighting 1960. Hooray. We have and like even 93, they're not trying to queue in 1960s. Like, right? Like, just saying. We have at least that's the last I heard. Okay. I had it on good authority. They were not interested. And if any kingdom in the game has any sort of a obligation, which they don't, but if any kingdom did, like they're the kingdom right now that is most qualified to go and do that at this exact moment in time, I think. Okay. But whatever, that's not what this video is about. So we have an amazing beast of an ally in 3473, and they just happen to be in the same camp. Now for the negatives, you'll be fighting 7 kingdoms, getting amazing fights, and a long, grueling Kingsland. Oh wait, that's not a negative. And I'll say it's extremely unlikely that this KvK would be as long or as grueling as what we just did. Like there's no KvK experience in the game, I think, until we get to the next biggest KvK in the game's history that is as long as or as grueling as what we just did. Remember I said, let's chill? Well, forget it. Let's gear up, power up, and do what we do. I wanted a 2v2. I wanted for us to rest up for a long-term fight against 1960, which, like, again, my very strong stance is that I don't want to participate in that unless we are doing all the things 1960 does to get advantage, and also that we have to be 100% in on that. Like if we're not doing that, don't bother. It's okay. Well, let's not pretend, right? Let's just not pretend. I've done it twice now. Let's not do that. I'm not going to participate in that a third time. If the kingdom's not ready, I'm not interested. If the kingdom's ready, great, let's go. But like, so anyways, I don't personally, I don't know, whatever. If the kingdom's doing it, and we're ready, then I'll lock in. And if we're not ready, I hope we're not queuing to set up for that, right? But the exact words from the other camps, this is now back to this actual KvK we're in, is that our recovery isn't their problem. What a weird thing to say. Like, we queued up for KvK. I get that, like, maybe it's recovery, maybe it isn't. But, like, you don't recover when you go into KvK. At least you shouldn't. Not if you're, like, really fighting. Anyways, our recovery isn't their problem. Let's make it their problem, he says. As one of the enemy kings said, either we're going to have an easy KvK or you are. What a weird situation to create. Like, they've created this 3v1 where they knowingly are making it easy for themselves. They're like, yes, let's make this easy for ourselves. Which, like, okay, I guess. Right? I said this in my last video, but it's like, 2377, your reward for attempting to take on the boogeyman of the Rise of Kingdoms community is now you're getting ganged up on, which is kind of funny. Who's going to go fight 1960? Okay. They actually want to kill our kingdom, as I understand it, which is also kind of wild because it's like, okay, interesting. What an interesting thing. They chose for us to have a hard one, but are you kidding? Hard is farming for a month. Hard is waiting till the next KvK for a good fight. And I completely agree with that. Like, I would rather queue up with 0 downtime every single time until I'm out of speed ups and I can't do it anymore than sit around in home kingdom. That's my 2 cents, like, genuinely. And I think this is one of the only kingdoms in the game that can actually potentially recover speed ups at a rate that makes that plausible. We're an easy win. That's all they're saying. The question I have for you, are you? Right? So, like, are we an easy win to fight? After all camps agreed, they said if you don't like it, you can sit and watch us while we throw some rewards to 3473. So I read this as these 3 war camps are literally trying to bribe our campmate right now to not fight. Is this like low key and an underhanded bribe? If you don't like it, you can sit and watch while we throw rewards to 3473. So they are creating a situation where they're trying to create a situation where every kingdom on the map is against 2377, even our own campmate. And our king says, I ain't watching shit. I fight, and 2377 is all about fighting. And like, yeah, what? Like, lock in. Like, these guys are trying to clown, and like, they put on the makeup, and the question is, what do we do about it? Right? Like, I'm not trying to be rude, But like, you see what they're doing. They like, instead of trying to create a fight that they think is fair, I guess this doesn't say this, but if I assume the best intention, they think there's literally no fair fight in this KvK to be found. It's either an unfair 3v1 or an unfair 2v2, which is a huge matchmaking L that players feel that way. Whether or not they're right about that is a different matter entirely, right? Like, the devs may actually have like serious, I don't know, how do we describe this as gamer? Like, serious insight into the reality of like what actually would be fair as some sort of 2v2. But if the players can't see it, it doesn't matter, right? And these players don't see it. I don't know what is or isn't fair. I'm not going to pretend that I do. I'm just going to read the mails and react, but I won't be the arbiter of fairness here. They want us to sit in a corner like their lapdog waiting for scraps from the table, which is, I mean, that is what they're saying. Like, go sit in, right? They teamed up and they're like, go sit in your corner, 2377. We're gonna give some scraps to your campmate too. So plans change and we recover after this KvK. There's no way we're sitting in the corner. There's no way we're watching this KvK. Let's go effing work and make people hear us. This is why we play the game. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, the situation is really weird, right? Like, if you believe the player sentiment, there's no fair KvK to be found. And I guess we'll figure that out, right? If we do win in a 3v1, first of all, I mean, it's so interesting that they think this is an easy KvK for them. They believe that this is an easy W. So they are intentionally creating a situation where they believe they have absolute dominance over what's going to happen. And I like, maybe that is or isn't true, but like, I'm commenting more on like, what a weird situation to create for yourself. Like, I don't know. I thought the goal of KvK Diplo was to create good fights, not easy fights. But here we are. Here we are. So what do I think should have happened in all this Diplo? I think that 2377 War Camp should be allying the weakest other war camp that's on the map for a 2v2. I think that, to me, is the way the map was probably designed to be set up. But, like, to the credit of the folks that think a 2v2 that's fair isn't on the board, like, yeah, if that were the case, we probably shouldn't have a campmate, right? Like, if this map was set up for 2v2, we probably shouldn't have a campmate, but we do. And it's a good campmate. They're not insane, but, like, I understand that we've got a good campmate here, super active in 3473. I'm hyped they're our campmate. And so the question then is, okay, so can we win this 3v1? Can we win this 3v1? We'll see, man. Hope you enjoyed the Kingdom Mails. If you like this kind of video, I can share more of them. Why not? Other people will get to share them anyways. I may as well get some credit, gosh darn it. And if you missed the last video where I gave some of the context in the kingdoms, the power, the choices, etc., check the card right over here. I got to go run to a dentist appointment. So this video is kind of fast and furious, and then I got to get out the door. But hopefully you enjoyed it. Until next time, you have fun, smash your enemies. Fingers crossed, no cavities. GG. We'll see. Usually, I mean, I can't remember the last time I had a cavity, so why jinx it? I've just jinxed myself. Gosh darn it.